everybody, welcome back to the Naptime Sessions. Again, I am Chantal Thomas. I am Liaison for Peter-McGill.
I'm Sabine Philippidès, Family Mobilization Officer for the Peter-McGill Council. I also run the drop-in daycare at the YWCA, and I'm a mom and resident of Peter-McGill.
Last week we talked about what are the different kinds of daycares and how they work. This week we're going to be talking about how to transition into the daycare. So today we invited Sabine to help us out with answering these questions because she's herself a mom in the neighborhood and is generally an expert on a lot of things, and we figured she could probably give us some good pointers. So to start off with, can you talk a little bit more about yourself? How long you've been in the neighborhood, your kids, your role. Go.
So I've been living here in Peter-McGill for 20 years now. I came here, I was a young adult, and now I'm raising my two boys here. They each go to school and daycare. I have a 10-year-old boy is going to the neighborhood school. It's not in the neighborhood yet. It's going soon.
If you want to know more about that, follow the My Peter-McGill Facebook page.
Yeah, continue. And my other boy is 4.5. It's getting big, but he's still in daycare, and he just transitioned to a new daycare last month. So I'm right in the middle of it.
Do you mind telling us a bit more about what do you need to do even before starting daycare just to get ready?
So even before you start the daycare, you should go and visit the daycare you're going to soon. You can go with the kid and you introduce the space, the room where he's going to be, the people that will take care of him, his new future friends, and you should go there several times before you start. Usually the daycares are okay to do that. You can schedule that, and then you need to tell the kid what's to expect, the routine, the type of activities he's going to do at the daycare, when is nap time, when is lunch time, when you're going to drop him at the daycare in the morning, and when you come back in the afternoon or at night. Kids need to know the routine. They need this to get reassured, and so. Then you need to adjust at home your schedule for nap time and lunch time, the same schedule as the daycare. Especially if you go part-time, because you need to keep the same schedule every day at home and at daycare. It would be easier for the kids. And lastly, I think you should go to playgroups in the neighborhood, preferably, and talk to him about sharing the toys, waiting for his turn, and playing with other kids. Because at home he's maybe alone, and you need to show him how to live in a group.
If you guys have questions about playgroups in the neighborhood, you can just send us a Facebook message, and we'll send you links to all the ones that are available. So then that's before you start daycare. Once they're in daycare, what do you do to help them cope with the transition?
When they're in daycare, so first usually the daycares have integration plans. So for example, they could maybe start the first week, you go with your child a few hours in the morning, just check out the space and play with the other kids, and so you get used to the place a little bit more. It's not the same as the visits. The visits, you just came and walked in the space and just went back. This time you stay with your child. Then maybe the week after that, second week, your child might stay by himself the same amount of time in the morning, no naps usually. And then after that, last. You should be going full time, hopefully. So usually 3 weeks a month, and it's doing okay. You can also take time. You should take time to talk to the care provider. If you have several in charge, you talk a little bit, a few minutes every day, morning or night, about the day, how it went, what it did he eat, did he sleep well, did he play with somebody, something happens, anything, so that when you come back home or on your way back home, you can talk to your child about his day, just. And it's nice to know the names of his friends, so you can really, talk about this. Oh, yeah, you played with, I don't know, Isham. And, oh, that's nice. And you made a new friend. His name is this. And so that's nice. And also, your kid is making friends. You should try and befriend some of the parents also, because you will need also adult contact, I guess. You need friends too. And you could organize play dates outside of the daycare, so your kid developed his friendship, and you can also talk about what's troubling you with your integration with your child. And I'm sure the other parents went through this too. So yeah, you need the support. And lastly, consistency. You need to keep doing the routine and everything. Every day you need to keep at it.
What was most challenging about the transition to daycare?
It was hard. My heart was broken. No, your child is crying. He's telling you, I miss you, I don't want to go, I want to stay with you. And you might feel guilty about letting, dropping them over there with strangers at the beginning. And you say, oh my God, I want to stay with him, I want to bring him back, but
And I do want to name, it's important to know that it's okay if you decide to stay home with your child. Not everyone needs to go into daycare, but obviously not everyone has that option or that choice.
Exactly. Sometimes you need
do what
to.
you gotta do.
But it will eventually go away, and then your child will be happy to go.
Okay,
I
good.
can vouch for that.
This is encouraging. I'm glad to hear that. So, you've already touched on this a little bit. Obviously, it's difficult for when your child starts daycare, but it was difficult for you too. So, what can parents do to prepare themselves and help themselves through that transition?
Parents need support. They need other parents or other grown-ups to talk to about what they're going through, and take time for yourself. Like if you can go just, I don't know, get a haircut or get a manicure or just go read a book and just take some time off if you can. And just trying to...
We've talked about daycare and your son who's 4.5, but you also have an older boy who's 10. So what are some of the similarities or differences between transitioning to daycare versus transitioning to primary school?
So both you need to have consistency. You need the routine, especially at night. They both need to have a good night's sleep to be, up for the next day. It's really demanding for them. They get tired at the beginning. It takes a lot out, like adults when they go to work. Like you get tired. You talk to the teacher. You have the parent-teachers meeting, but you can also, just call the school or just develop a relationship with the teachers as you did with the daycare provider. You need about his day. You know, your kid is coming back from school. He has homework sometimes. He has. It was difficult for him, and he was like, okay, just let's sit a little bit and talk. Oh, what did you do? Did you go outside today after you did your math? Or talk about his friends, the same as you did for when he was in daycare. And try maybe to join a parent group. School, I know it's bigger, but they usually have the school meeting, the school board, and they have a parent committee usually on there. So you can go there, so you get involved in the school. And the same for the daycare. You meet the other parents. You maybe don't have a parents committee, but still you have a group of parents. Like, you need to share this.
Is there anything else that I've forgotten to ask? Any other tips that you have to share that I just didn't ask you the right question about?
No, like I said before, you need to take the time to be with your kids after school, after daycare, to ask about their day and to play with them, to spend quality time with them, read a story, play, just having fun. No planned activities, no something demanding their attention. Just chill, just enjoy. And when they're at school or at daycare, try to take a few minutes, an hour if you can, for yourself. That's really important. You need that.
Nice, cool. So we're going to stay here for a few more minutes. If anyone has any questions, then we can answer some of those. If you think of questions later on, just send us a message or leave a comment and we'll answer them right away. So that's it for us today. Thank you again to Sabine for joining us. She's wonderful, guys. As always, everything that we presented today is going to be posted on both our Facebook page and on our website. And if you have any questions, not just about what was presented today, but in general, send us a message and we'd be happy to answer that for you. Merci à vous.
Merci.